Thank you for joining us now as the Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee started today meeting Tuesday. Analysts have indicated that the committee may raise the monetary policy rate again to tackle rising inflation. Now, the biting inflation rate had assumed an upward swing in the past few months, and the situation had made the MPC to keep raising the MPR monetary policy rate. Now, the MPC team had said in the past that it will be difficult to allow the inflation rate to be significantly higher than the MPR, as inflation hit about 22.22% in April. However, analysts are saying that analysts are saying that MPC is likely to raise the MPR further by 50 basis points ahead of the meeting. Whereas in the past meeting this year, the committee remains faced with either maintaining its hiking cycle or keeping policy parameters unchanged. So now let's get started with the analysis of the day. I've been joined by Nabila Mohammed, is a research analyst at Chapel Hindenham. She joins us virtually now. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, Nabila.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good
morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you too.
Yes. So, talk to us about because according to some analysts like you, they are saying that the committee may raise the policy rates again to tackle rising inflation. So, what's the position on this?
Most definitely, our view is they are going to raise the policy rates by modestly 50 basis points come the end of their meeting by tomorrow. And this is largely as a result of the persistent inflation that we continue to see. All through this year, we have seen inflation continue to touch new highs, more like we have not even reached the highest yet, since we have the fuel subsidy removal that is also being considered and would likely have a ripple effect on the country's inflation year on year. So we are most definitely likely to see a hike in the MPR rate come the end of their meeting tomorrow. And if they are going to be very modest about it, it will be a 50 basis point. And if they want to be very aggressive, it will be 100 basis point.
Okay. And so if that happens, what will be the implication of that on the economy? Because the last MPC meeting, when we saw the rate, some businesses had to, adjust, maybe go back to drawing board and to do an adjustment and all that. So, so what's likely to change with that projection should that happen?
So normally with a hike in interest rates, higher cost of borrowing happens, and it will be that businesses would be borrowing funds to sustain their business activities at a very high cost. So that would also translate to them trying to secure their profit margins by raising prices, and it will now lead to more inflation. So the real issue that we should be looking at is how to support these businesses from the supply side of things. Fine, the MPR is to tackle inflation, and when we see that the cost of doing businesses generally is high, of course, businesses will want to secure their margins very well by increasing prices, all in a bid to support that they are still in business and they are still making very good money. So it would just be like a circle, sort of. We have them on one hand trying to fight inflation by raising rates, but also telling on business activities in terms of them having to borrow money at a very high cost, and coupled with the production issues that they have in terms of cost of their expenses being high, cost of production is high, infrastructural problems that are causing all these, would see them also raise prices. So it should be a broad-based thing in terms of tackling the inflation, not just from the MPR leg of things. CBN is already doing its best to continue to fight the persistent high inflation that we see. But then we should also see the other side of things, as the structural side of things, that would support these businesses, give them a very conducive environment to, function, and in turn provide a very sustainable economic growth for the entire country, and that would be the broad-based, effect of if they are trying to fight the inflation from all angles.
So, in a nutshell, we may not see the CBN win this war against inflation, if that's the case, isn't it? Hello, Nabila, can you hear me? Hello, Nabila. Well, I was trying to ask Nabila if, of course, all the effort of CBN Monetary Policy Committee to tame inflation, after all efforts may not yield as intended, given the fact that the more the revealing interest rate higher, the more we see inflation rate jacking up. So I was asking you, Nabila, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So I was asking you that after all of this war against inflation, we're not going to see CBN winning this war anytime soon, given the fact that the reviewing of interest rate upward has not yielded its intended result.
I would say that is just one aspect of, tackling inflation. As I earlier mentioned,
hello, Nabila. Oh dear, I'm sure that struggling to get connected with Nabila there, quite important point. They're taking a look at whether the CBN effort is yielding at all, the fight against inflation, whether it's yielding at all. Are you there, Nabila? Please go ahead. Oh dear. Okay. Are you there, Nabila?
I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm not sure if you heard the last. I mean, you're trying to make your last point.
So you asked a question about, if the CBN's continuous rate hikes is, fighting the persistent high inflation that we see.
Yes. And perhaps we're not here. I mean, we may not see the CBN winning this war against inflation anytime soon.
Well, if everything happens from a broad-based perspective, we might see that the fight against inflation is on. And I would give you, for instance, even when we saw that cash in circulation in the first quarter of the year dropped significantly because of the cash scarcity as a result of the design in currency, inflation still tested new highs. I mean, we saw February inflation 21.91%, March inflation 22.04%. It was still going high. So it means that hiking interest rates is really not the only thing that can be done. Understanding the drivers of this inflation is what we should be doing right now. But we are still expecting a rate hike. However, the tackling of inflation should be broad-based.